Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Daisuke Richard. Now, we do have two web pages here. One is the X page or Twitter page. I think this is the most updated one or more current one. But they also have a page on the character design references website. Now, what I like about this sort of specific pics is I think this is a lot of their older work. So you do see a lot more color variety, but the style or the way they do the line work, it's pretty much the same for the most part. But it's just nice to see the sort of different style. By style, I just mean I think it's mostly the color range. They're a bit more wider, I guess, when it comes to their color palette in their past work. But so we can go through some of these eventually. But let me just go to their X page again. I think more recently for their work, they're more into this, what do you call this color palette? Like lots of blues. It's kind of pastel, like blue, pink, and yeah, and they pretty much do that for everything. And they always do this sort of. I've mentioned this before, like this sort of girl. Sometimes she has her headphones on. She's kind of like a schoolgirl or a some kind of artist, rock singer, musician, something. And I just like the illustrations because, like for example, in the background, sometimes it's just like a plain sort of color, so it's often like abstract. Everything else is pretty much abstract, but the character themselves, there's almost always like some kind of context, and you can tell by the what they wear, the things they have on them. For example, they have some food over here, right? A burger, a freaking like some French fries. But if you look at their line work, there's not much pen pressure, meaning they're just using like a very basic sort of round brush. And if you zoom in, you can even see some of that squiggliness, which comes from your actual hand. So I think it contributes, even though there's hardly any pen pressure, because of that slight sort of wiggliness or that kind of shakiness. It's very minimal though. It just makes it look more like an illustration, like it was done with some kind of like tech pen or micro pen or something, and it looks good. Now, when it comes to their coloring style or approach, it's very heavy on like the flats. Let me just oh, this one's a bit more. We do see some yellows here. It's taking a while to load. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's big. That's why. I'm gonna have to just do this. So if we, my God, it's taking too long to freaking load. So we'll try this. Oh, so if you look at this, I do recommend you zoom in on their images on X because they do post like really large images of their work. And look at how the line work is, especially for example for this like part of the scarf, the sort of like hanging yarn things. Is it like super accurate? I don't think so. There's sort of a slight looseness to the lines. In a way, it's kind of like gestural, but it's also clean at the same time, meaning it's presentable. It's not too sketchy. There's a bit of abstraction in the line work. It's not very like it's up to you to decide what it is. There's a lot more clarity in their work, and I think it works well because the moment they add the colors or the flats, like you just know what to color it because you know what that thing is. Like there's no ambiguity with what you're illustrating. And I think it's more common for say like painters. If you're more of a painter kind of person, you tend to be a bit more like impressionist. So the moment you start doing line work, like it just adds too much pressure maybe. And when you do showcase your illustrations, there is a bit of vagueness or some looseness that's there. So it's kind of hard to see what. Sometimes it's hard to see what you're drawing or illustrating. Because I think if you're more of a painter, you think more about the big picture stuff, like the impression of the thing. But doing these kinds of drawings where you do see the line work, you do have to be a bit more specific. You have to think a little more, or another way of saying it is you just think differently. The priorities are a bit different. It does look a bit more technical because things are gonna be a bit more illustrated. Just think of like architectural drawings or interior design drawings, even fashion drawings sometimes. I know for the fashion world, But pretty much for the design world in general, they have like the concept sketches. They're usually the more wilder kinds of artworks, and you have the more like working drawings. Like you have to pass it on to some kind of engineer or something. It's gonna be a bit more technical, more detailed, less vagueness there, lots or way more clarity. So yeah, again, they do focus on like this one sort of theme. It's about one girl, usually one girl, one character, some kind of school girl, right, in her uniform, and they're very experimental with these complementary elements. For example, it starts with the fashion, even though it's like a schoolgirl kind of shirt, right? Like there are patches there, there are like zippers, stickers, even the way the ribbons are done, and then from there you have like other elements. Like for example, you have this ring, this sort of halo ring on top of her head. You have some like flowers. It does have the kind of, you will see this kind of illustrations in like editorial art. So it's interesting to see this in like more anime or in an anime kind of style, right? I mean, just without even zooming in, just look at the background. It's just one color, and the characters themselves, they're kind of, I get it's the same for the recent work anyway. Well, this is from 2022. Yeah, but compared to their like artworks that's featured on the character design references page, this one's a lot more like they have a set color palette, right? And I think that helps you save time because you don't have to think too much. Like you can just focus more on the ideas. I do have a post on the post section of this YouTube channel. A very recent one I did just post it today, and I did sort of feature this video on style. And I think what's cool is when you have like when the idea of style really is, it's more of like something that helps you focus more on the idea, on the substance. I do recommend you check out that post. Basically, your style is figuring out all of these huge list of decisions that like it solves them, so you can just focus more on some kind of story, some kind of theme. So if you have like a set color palette, you have like a set format for your work. Like you use the same brushes, you use the same colors, use the same techniques. Like you just get to spend more time tackling the ideas here. Even for the themes, all of the vast majority of their recent work anyway, it's just a schoolgirl with a backpack with shoes, right? And then everything else is like added onto it or subtracted from it. And I think that's where you see a lot of the creativity. It's like it's that constraint that actually makes this artist pretty unique, right? Kind of like the previous artist we reviewed, Ko Getcha, right? Setting those limitations from the face value or from the beginning, it looks kind of constraining. Like it doesn't feel like you can be creative, but you can. Limits can and often do help you in being a bit more creative because you get to focus more on exploring the ideas. And because you're not thinking about like all of your brushes, all of the possible colors, all of the possible like image like formats, you're not wasting time with those things because you already have like a set of things or a set system or a set style, so you can focus more on the actual like fundamental ideas. Right, look at this one, pretty cool. And again, when they do their line work, sometimes you'll see this where it's not going all the way, meaning they're not trying to solve the line in just like one stroke. They will stop kind of midway sometimes. And so often when you do zoom in, you will see some gaps in their line work, and it's not bad. I used to think that was a bad thing because I thought your line work always has to be like super smooth, like finish things in one go kind of thing. But let me just zoom in on this one. This one's pretty like intense. Now for this one, the background is filled up. And I do like seeing artwork like this because it's definitely a lot more impressive because you're handling the environments, whether exterior or interior. It's crazy, and it's like it's a lot of work, but it looks pretty cool, right? But the color palette is still pretty much the same. And I do notice they're not very saturated. They're somewhat desaturated, meaning it's not like super vibrant, the colors. and I think I think it works for them, and it looks good. Again, if you look at the line work, do you see a lot of like fading out of the lines, which often comes from like you don't really see like a tapering thing at the end of the line strokes. It usually starts and ends in the same way. And not only that, it doesn't also look like a felt tip pen, meaning there's no bleeds in the inks. It's like one solid sort of line. You will see these kinds of lines in like urban sketchers or urban sketching kind of artwork because they tend to use like a tech pen often or some kind of like really fine liner kind of pen. Because often their subjects are like architectural features, buildings, environments, right? So this one's like a skateboard design, maybe. I mean, it's pretty cool. If you, I think the advice here would be to do these sorts of illustrations, in a very big sort of image size with like a high DPI because you can like resell it in so many ways, or repackage it in so many ways. You can make it a shirt, you can make it a sticker. For example, for this one, you can just eliminate the actual background because the background is just like one sort of thing. And you can make this character kind of a sticker, right? You can make it like a cover for, you could sell it in some kind of print on demand site. Like it's so reusable, it's so flexible. So there are advantages to having this kind of illustration style, right? And even the design of the shoes are pretty much the same thing. Like you don't have to always do something new. Even if you stick to like the same subject pretty much over and over again, you can make something new from that limitation. I mean, just look at their work. Yeah, it's for the recent work anyway. Lots of the same colors, the same subject matter, but there are like it's the iterations that make it really like fun. And you compare that to the other artworks or other illustrations done. Like you're not just seeing like one illustration. You're seeing like, I mean, one illustration can stand on its own, clearly, but there's more of an effect when you see them in conjunction. Whoa, that sounds like a big word for me. Conjunction, Jesus, with other artworks because you see like a general theme, and it's just like I think we just like seeing some kind of consistency in someone's like portfolio, right? Look at this one again with like it's still a schoolgirl, but let me just open the image in new tab. Let me zoom in. There we look at this. There's no like line weight variety. However, we do see some spots. Let me just use my pen here. Some spots where they're not afraid to add some black fill-ins, meaning it's going to be an area where it's just fully in black. It's not a line. It's really like a shape at this point. Sometimes it's more of a lighting thing. This one's more of like a shadow. This one's more of like a design thing. Like that's the color of the zipper. So you do have a couple of that. However, if you zoom out, it's not that. You do see it also in like the sock over here. It's very minimal. It sort of just adds a bit of like footing to your image because if it's all just line work, sometimes it can be. I think it's their way of adding variety, you know, because it looks a little empty. For example, for the last artist we checked out, Kogecha, they don't have a lot of these black fill-ins. And the reason why is they already have so many like lines or contour lines, whether on the outside or the inside of their subjects. So it's already like filled up with information and enough information even. So you don't really need to do that. But for Daisuke, Richard, I think it just adds a bit more information or variety. And they don't even overdo it. It's very minimal still, but it's clearly there. Right? Oh, this one's pretty cool. This is like a crab thing, like a king crab. Look at this. I mean, it's so fun, right? And again, you can just focus on being a bit more playful. I do notice. I don't think they. I do see a bit of noise texture in the background. You don't see it as much, although in the character themselves, in these sorts of like elements around the character, there is a bit of that noise texture. It's a very minimal approach, but I think that's why a lot of their designs can be somewhat intricate because they're pretty much locked in or locked off all of these other things. Like lines are going to be a certain way only, not much pen pressure. It's a very solid line and it's also very thin. We have some black fill-ins. Let me just zoom. Oh fuck. Let me just zoom up here. Very thin lines, right? Some black fill-ins. It's also minimal. The colors, it's sort of like a red, a blue, a variation of those. All of which are going to be more on the desaturated side, so they're going to be a bit more gray or closer to gray than say the pure kind of hue, and they're going to be less bright as well. And yeah, and the background is usually like kept simple unless it's like an interior kind of room. So when you do that, you have more time to just be intricate because everything else has been sort of decided beforehand. So I think that's the advantage of having these sorts of limitations, right? And it's fun. I mean, look at this. Which freaking, I mean, yeah, not just in terms of like the drawing approach. Like you can like really draw things intricately, meaning there's just more detail, but there's more subject detail as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but like the drawing approach is very, for example, for the hair, you get to draw more strands, right? You just get to dive in more. But also for the subject detail, for example, the patches on this sort of bag, like you get to spend more time thinking about these things when you've sort of established or figured out other things beforehand. You know, the colors, the way you do lines and stuff like that. So my point is, you just get to spend more time doing and adding more stuff in your artwork, right? Oh, this one's a bit different. There's a bit of like green in the background, but it's still the same thing pretty much. They also like flowers or petals, you know, which is very common in like Japan, you know, the whole blossom thing. Because when you think of Japan, sometimes, I mean, for me anyway, I think like pink trees or pink leaved or petal some things, you know, with the Fuji or Mount Fuji sort of in the background. But yeah, a significant portion of their work is going to be of this sort of variety. But let me just go to this page. It's on the character design references. The approach is pretty much the same, but again, the clear difference is simply the color palette. They're just a fan of doing line work more. And again, the way they render, it's just flats. Sometimes there's no shadow, sometimes there is. This is pretty cool. Look at that. Oh my freaking. Right? And if you have somewhat like wiggly, shaky lines, I think this is a good artist to study because, you know, because there are, just think of like typical high quality manga pages, like the way it sometimes feels like a rendering for some people or artists who do ink their work. It does sometimes look like a rendering for some art styles. So it can be sort of intimidating when you see those types of inks, but you can do your inks or your line work in this kind of way where there's hardly any pen pressure. The brush size is very small. It's almost like a tech pen. And there's some, you know, that sort of wiggliness to it. It looks good. And it can work, and it does work. Also, you can limit your palette. You don't have to go overboard with your colors because sometimes you think because your lines are so simple, like you want to compensate with the colors. You don't even have to do that. I think what you're seeing here is for as long as the drawing itself is good and for as long as the composition itself is good, you can just simplify the lines and also the colors. Now this one's a bit more textured, very different from their normal work. But yeah, pretty cool. So I will link both of these pages in the description below, both the character design references page, which is this one, and also we do see a lot more schoolgirl types of stuff here. And I'll also obviously be linking the X/Twitter page. I do recommend you zoom in because you will really see the details and the intricate stuff in their work. So that's it for this art review of Daisuke Richard, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!